Dana White might have just had the worst series of takes I have seen in a very, very long time, okay? And I'm normally not the type of guy to call somebody casual, and in this case, I don't even know if he is a casual or not. It has gotten to the point that I used to make jokes talking about how, oh, 100% Jon Jones has dirt on Dana White. Now, unironically, there has to be some photos, bro. Like, this is some, like story of the century level dirt, because we've gotten to the point that Dana White is actually hurting his reputation when it comes to talking about MMA. All for Jon. Like, I'm going to have to take a double take whenever Dana White says anything about MMA. Because this is insane. There's really no other way to talk about it than for Dana White to bring it up himself. I'm sure there's a few people that have been waiting for this video. And we're going to be reacting to the 7-minute long awful take that Dana White had over Jon Jones, the pound for pound rankings, Islam Makhachev, everything. Yeah, let's get into it.
Is Jon Jones the pound for pound GOAT?
Did what?
Let's just... Do you have any idea how bad of a take you have to have for the entirety of the MMA media to more or less come together and just point out just how hypocritical and crazy of a take that you have? That they are the ones that are instigating it?
Is Jon Jones the pound for pound GOAT?
He's the pound for pound best fighter in the world, and he's the GOAT. And you all know this. Numbers don't lie.
Does he have to...
Like, it's charming in a way if, like, a child says it. Like, the reaction that Dana White has to saying it and the laugh that, like, the reporters are having is kind of like when I'm talking to my little cousin and I ask him who his favorite fighter is, and he's like, Conor McGregor is the greatest fighter of all time, should have beaten Khabib. Like, it's that level. Like, if this was a child, this would be charming. It's Dana White. It's Dana White talking about this.
Pictures of you? I saw that on the internet too. Are you guys that fucking stupid? You can't be.
I will say this. I do like white anger Dana White. Like, you can tell, like, he's smiling through absolute rage because I think this comes down to a multitude of issues. I think he dislikes the fact that MMA journalism has turned on him, and it's not just Ariel Helwani. Like, it's times like this I almost wish Ariel was at the press conference because I think he would be asking the questions that we would. Like, I want you to keep this in mind. The reporters that are going to Dana White Contender Series are reporters that are pretty much, like, handpicked. Like, the reporters that are talking are not the people that, like, Dana White knows they're going to give him the tough questions. Like, no. This is the equivalent of going to a press conference and all the MMA journalists are your boys and they're cooking you for your MMA opinions. Like, the fact that he's still getting cooked for this is insane.
That fucking stupid to think that Jon Jones is not the pound for pound best fighter in the world and the GOAT. But maybe you are.
He's not going to talk to any of us either, because right now...
What do you mean?
Because he's watching this, and we're all saying, questioning you, and...
I will say this. Is it a net negative for Jon Jones to do, like, any type of press? Like, I've thought about this. Could Jon Jones... Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I understand. If I'm Jon Jones, I'm avoiding the camera like it's cancer, bro. Because you know the question they're going to ask. Are you planning on retiring after Stipe? Are you planning on fighting Tom Aspinall? And the thing is Dana White doesn't have the wife-beating, abusive brain of Jon. And he has more impulse control. I mean, not an amazing amount of impulse control, but, like, Dana White knows from a promoting mindset, frame of mind, the stuff that you can and cannot say. Like, I will say this. Dana White has done a great job of framing the Jon Jones fight. Because how he frames it is Jon Jones should fight Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall would be a good fight for Jon Jones or Stipe. That would be a good fight. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. And, like, the way that the fights are being framed as if, like, it is completely outside. Like, he talks about Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall the same way that I talk about GSP versus Anderson Silva. Yeah, that would have been a great fight, but it's not going to happen. And I don't think it's going to happen. I would be, at this point, I believe Jon Jones is going to fight Stipe, make $5 million off of it, because what I mean by the impulsive brain of Jon Jones is, for whatever reason, Jon Jones, whenever he starts getting cooked in a comment section, instantly resorts to, I make more money than you, broke boy, and I'm making $5 million to fight a geriatric Stipe, and if they want me to fight Tom Aspinall, they're going to have to pay me the real money. Which is ironic, considering this. If any other MMA fighter did this shit where they said, well, you gotta pay me the real money to get that, you would instantly be called a coward.
Yeah, question me. How do you, who's better than Jon Jones? Who's pound for pound better than?
No, okay, John.
At what point does activity come into play, right?
1 year. I believe after 1 full year, there is nothing you can do to keep yourself in the pound for pound rankings. If you don't fight in 1 full year, you either have to be immediately bumped from the pound for pound rankings entirely, or you have to be bumped down immediately. Like, I think the UFC is being gracious right now with how Jon Jones is ranked in the pound for pound rankings. Islam Makhachev being number 1, perfectly valid. He's in the toughest division in the UFC, that being the lightweight division. He beat the pound for pound number 1 guy 2 times, Alexander Volkanovski, at the time. 100%, that is a valid placement for Islam Makhachev. Alex Pereira, the number 2 guy. Let's not pretend like Alex Pereira hasn't fucking sped run an entire Hall of Fame debate, and probably by the end of his career becoming the 2nd greatest light heavyweight of all time. Jon Jones, yes, if we're looking through the entirety of his career, I'm not going to play the game of diminishing his fight career, because I understand that that's a tough argument to win. I'm going to pick my battles here, and to be fair to these MMA reporters and journalists, they need to pick their battles more carefully, because Dana White is going to change the definition of words, change the definition of the pound for pound rankings, change the definition of what an active fighter is, and then just straight up lie about other fighters on this list. And that's what made me want to do this, and plus what he said about Stipe, which is insane. It really is just crazy. But Jon Jones being the pound for pound number 3 guy in the world, that is gracious in my eyes, because he beat Seral Gane to get here. That is it.
I mean, we all agree there is nobody better than Jon Jones. He's the greatest of all time. There's no question about it. But I'm
sorry, I know exactly who the guy talking, what he looks like. I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry, dude. But this guy has the right idea. Don't try to have a debate with Dana White over the goathood of Jon Jones, because the only way that you're going to win that argument is when you start talking about steroids. And 100% bringing up the juice history of Jon Jones is a blacklisted thing. I'm going to say it right now. They 100% are blacklisting certain topics when you go into a press conference. This is my prediction. When it comes to Jon Jones, you are allowed to talk about his inactivity and stuff like that. You are not allowed to bring up any domestic violence. You are not allowed to bring up anything he says on Twitter. And you're not allowed to bring up the PED history. If you do, you are instantly blacklisted from a press conference. I feel like that's the case. Because why wouldn't you bring it up? Jon Jones is the GOAT of all time. Yeah, bro, got busted for cheating more than any other fighter in MMA history.
At some point when you're looking at rankings, they do have to represent what's happening in the organization at that moment, right at that time. And in the past 3 years, he's had 1 fight.
And you thought he lost to Reyes.
Huh?
And when he fought Reyes, you said you thought Reyes won the fight.
I don't like that. Here's the thing. I agree with the sentiment. I believe Dominic Reyes beat Jon. But don't bring up stuff that he could just say, oh, well, he ended up winning the fight. Granted, if you're going to catch Dana White, and they do, they catch him by the very end of this, and I gotta give respect where respect is due when we get to the end of the video, but avoid going at Dana White with something that it's like more of an argument out of, well, at the time, they thought he won. No, you gotta hit him with cold, hard facts. Tom Aspinall has more title defenses at heavyweight than the current heavyweight champion. That is a fact. He has defended the interim one time. Jon Jones has not defended the undisputed at all at heavyweight. The light heavyweight stuff should not come into play. That should not be an argument. And if Dana White did do that, then he is being dishonest, and you can argue that. But playing the whole Dominic Reyes game, the fact is I would avoid that because he's just going to say, oh, well, Jon Jones won.
He didn't win the fight. Jon Jones did.
But you said you thought he won the fight.
Who gives it?
What this dude is saying is true. I'm saying that it is a mute point because all he has to say is this.
Shit. I'm not the fucking judges. The guy didn't win he didn't lose the fight. And the one loss that he has is from a referee that should have never been a referee in a million years.
Okay, now we just went straight hypocrisy. Holy shit. Yeah, well, it's still a loss though, bud. Like, he lost. He cheated. He knowingly cheated. Like, I know some people get mad at me and they're like, whoa, Jon Jones didn't know that he was throwing an illegal strike. No. You ever sign a terms of service or a video game and then you get banned because you find out you violated the terms of service? When you sign, I read it. When you go, you have agreed to the terms of service without reading it. When you go into an MMA fight, they have a referee come up to you backstage and they tell you the rules. And when you say, we went over the rules in the back and you touch gloves, or when you meet in the center of the octagon right before you're about to fight, that is the signing of the terms of service of an MMA fight. Whether you want to believe it or not, Jon Jones agreed to the rules of an MMA fight, no matter how stupid the rule was. I'm actually with Dana White on here. I think that loss should be expunged. However, I think Dominic Reyes should have won. I think that is an outright robbery. But, yeah, it's a loss. I understand what he's saying, but at the end of the day, like, it's a loss, though. Like, if we're going to play the Dominic Reyes game, then we got to play this game.
Never lost. We were just talking tonight, these kids that come in here that are undefeated, you know how hard it is to stay undefeated? Jon Jones went through Murderer's Row. When you talk about activity, and he's fought one time, but Jon Jones was supposed.
You see that? Okay. There's a little correction that Dana White makes.
When you talk about activity.
When we talk about activity, I'm going to look to my fucking imagination because what I'm about to say is going to be outright bullshit. Because when you say activity and Jon Jones in the same sentence, it is a rule of language that you have to say activity, Jon. Jon isn't active. That's just a rule.
And he's fought one time, but.
When people's eyes start going all over the place when they're trying to express a point, it's either because they are knowingly spouting bullshit or they realize that they were caught. That is what just happened here. Jon Jones is not active. You cannot say he is active. You have to change the entire definition of active in order to say that Jon is active. I'm sorry, let me tell you what I count as active. Fighting at least one time a year. I've said that I think it should be twice a year for champions or it's an automatic interim. Yeah, no, I'm that cutthroat. We need 2 fights a year from a champion in order for me to call you active. And yeah, that would make it so most champions aren't active. No. That's what I think needs to be put forward. 2 fights a year, I think that's perfectly fair. Jon isn't doing that. He's not active. It's as simple as that.
But Jon Jones was supposed to fight.
Conor McGregor was supposed to fight. We call him inactive. You called Aljamain Sterling inactive because he had to get like a surgery done. You called Stipe inactive when he was the heavyweight champion. The hypocrisy that you have to justify Jon Jones as not only the pound for pound number one guy, when Conor McGregor was fighting, Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, they were number one people. He didn't say shit. He had 5 dinners with Khabib Nurmagomedov when he was the number one guy. Where was this energy back then? When you could actually make the argument that Jon Jones was the number one person when he fought people like Daniel Cormier. I'm not even going to bring up the juice allegations because that completely muddies the water. And you can say Jon Jones is ineligible to be on the pound for pound rankings because of how much he's used. But
Jon Jones was sitting on the couch and saying, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to fight again. Then he's definitely not in the pound for pound discussion right now. He was scheduled to fight and he got injured. He is an active fighter.
I might have a stroke. For reference, I've had like 500 milligrams of caffeine because I needed to get myself psyched up for this. And, what type of take is that, dude? That's insane, man. So, okay, so for any aspiring fighters, understand in Dana White's book, you can sit out for over a full year and still be considered active. That's now a thing that we can do.
He is absolutely an active fighter. And when you talk about pound for pound, and I don't want to shit on any of my other guys, but
You are. Like, you are going to shit on them, dude. Like,
who is it right now? Islam? Islam, many people believe, lost to the guy who's a weight class below him.
did we not just have a whole fucking hissy fit over being like, oh, well, it doesn't matter what I think? It's like, I'm sorry, you can't mute a point that somebody used against you and then immediately try to turn it on. Like, you're using the same point that you argued was a mute point because we're not the judges. Islam Makhachev beat Alexander Volkanovski not once, but twice. That is what happened.
Is that how pound for pound works?
What do you mean? Like, well, where are we? Okay, what bizarro world are we in? Is that how pound for pound works? Like, you can tell in his brain he thought he fucking cooked with this placement. Dog, you legitimately just did the Dominic Reyes, Jon Jones excuse. But Dominic, dude, we had to make up rules for Jon Jones to beat Dominic Reyes. It was 3-2. The only way that it was argued is people like fucking Joe Rogan were like, yo, I think the 5th round means more than the first 2. Which is not in the rules of MMA. It simply isn't. That is not a thing. So we had to make up rules for Jon Jones to beat Dominic Reyes. Islam Makhachev, and first off, acting like Islam Makhachev versus Volkanovski 1 is in the same level of robbery as Dominic Reyes versus Jon Jones is one of the most intellectually inhonest things that you could ever say. That is bullshit.
Many people, including people in this room.
But he got the win. It doesn't matter.
Okay, get that man a fucking 50K bonus for key. This is a performance bonus worthy. Get this man paid.
You're absolutely right. But
Let's fucking go! Yeah. Yeah, that's... Okay, so this is pissed off Dana White. We've officially entered... No, we've gone out of white raids, Dana White. Now we're in tomato raids when his face starts getting a little flustered because he realizes that it's a mute point. If you're gonna say that Dominic Reyes versus Jon Jones, that is a point that you can't bring up because the judges ruled he won, which, okay, then you can't use Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev as a way of arguing that Islam Makhachev shouldn't be number 1. Well, he beat Volkanovski again and then beat Dustin Poirier.
he fought a weight class down.
No, he didn't. That's an outright... This is promoter mode. This is promoter mode. That's an outright lie. This was the number 1 guy pound for pound fighting the number 2 guy pound for pound. That was the whole reason the fight was made. And Islam Makhachev did not fight down. Volkanovski bulked up and fought him at 155. That is what happened. You don't say this when... You didn't say Eddie Alvarez was fighting down when he fought Conor McGregor. You didn't say that Jan Blachowicz was fighting down. No. You said that Volkanovski was fighting up. You said that Adesanya was fighting up. In the very same breath, you're like, Jon Jones went up. What are we talking about? This is some crazy, like...
He fought a weight class down. Jon Jones fought a weight class up.
I didn't realize that he was going to say this. Like, it is quite literally in the same breath. He is taking a breath now. He spouted 2 lies. I have yet to hear a truth. So, Islam Makhachev did not fight down. Volkanovski fought up. Jon Jones fought up. How could you say that in the same sentence?
And let me tell you what, when all the guys were in there, you had the Jon Jones, the Anderson Silvas, and the George St. Pierres. I know who wanted to fight who and who didn't want to fight who.
You see, now we appealed to, now he has the sacred knowledge that no journalist is going to be able to correct him on unless I can outright access a database with me. He has resorted to this because, well, how would if somebody ever tries to correct him on this at the press conference without resources, without quotes that we can pull up, he's going to be like, oh, well, dude, can you find a way to prove it? Dog, Israel Adesanya said the UFC was trying to erase Francis Ngannou. One of these reporters brought it up at the last Dana White Contender Series interview. And he straight up said, I have no knowledge of that being a thing. It was in the embedded. You make the embedded. Of course you did it. We all know you're trying to erase Francis Ngannou, and I understand it. The point I'm trying to make is now, because he's getting cooked logically, he's getting cooked emotionally, he's going to resort to the sacred information way of getting out of an argument. Oh, well, you wouldn't know. I was there. I knew who accepted a fight, and I knew who didn't accept a fight. First off, bullshit. There was leaked messages coming out that Jon Jones didn't want to fight Alexander Gustafsson again and instead wanted to wait for another contender. That was a leaked message that came out during this court case between this whole lawsuit, like multi-billion-dollar antitrust lawsuit. This was leaked messages between Hunter Campbell, the Fertitta brothers, and Dana White. He outright admitted that Jon Jones did not want to fight Gustafsson. I know Guru was saying some stuff about Francis Ngannou. That's also true. I don't even have to go that far. I know for a fact Dana White said that Jon Jones didn't want to fight Gustafsson. So this is also a lie based off stuff that was leaked in a court case, which is not hearsay.
And Jon Jones has always been willing to fight everybody.
Bullshit.
You know what I mean? The only real mark with Jon Jones, it was his fucking team that he was with at that time, who I could tell you 50 fucking stories about. The Chael Sonnen fight.
Okay, so this he had to immediately start covering himself because the Chael Sonnen Jon Jones thing is one of the weirdest things in Jon Jones' entire career, and it was the most public dispute that Jon Jones had with the UFC. The UFC had more problems with Jon Jones pulling out of a fight with Chael Sonnen on short notice than Jon Jones hitting a pregnant lady with his car. Like, that's just, like, they had more problem with that.
When they were refusing to fight Chael Sonnen. You know what I mean? But other than that,
The GOAT, the man who made Jon Jones quit.
Jones has fought everybody that's ever been put in front of him. He went through murderer's row, and if you look at who he fought at the time when he fought them, look at the record of the guys combined that he fought.
Okay, yes, let's go back to 7 to 10 fucking years ago before fucking GTA 5 was released to justify his current pound-for-pound rankings. I'm not going to argue the stuff that he did in his past. That is not where the argument is. We are arguing that Jon Jones versus Stipe is this bullshit. It's not a good fight. It's not. Like, the reporters start taking a different approach of which that I really do appreciate, and that is stop attacking Jon because Dana White is going to go into full defense mode for his baby boy Jon. He will not defend Stipe to save his fucking life.
And the list just goes on and on.
That makes him the greatest fighter of all time, not the greatest active fighter, because he is not an active fighter.
Get this fucking man a $50K bonus, okay? That's a performance bonus. Get everybody here $50K. Everybody is cooking Dana White today.
Fought one time in over 4 years.
He is an active fighter. He just got injured. He was going in.
He did not just get injured. That was fucking months ago. It has been over 500 days since his last fight. In what world does that make you an active fighter? We are bending the definitions of active fighter. Understand, under the same definition, you can argue that Conor McGregor is still an active fighter because he's had fights scheduled multiple times and they've all fallen through. Conor McGregor is an active fighter if Jon Jones is an active fighter.
He hasn't fought.
And he was going in to fight at heavyweight again.
I fucking hope he's fighting at heavyweight again. He's the current champion of it. Don't phrase it like that. He's defending his title. Whoop-de-doo, you're the heavyweight champion. I hope you're defending your title. Tom Aspinall wins the interim and then goes out of his way to defend the interim again. Tom Aspinall doesn't get credit for defending the interim, but we're going to be like, oh, I can't believe Jon Jones is going to defend the heavyweight title and go up to heavyweight again. Where was he? He didn't go back down to light heavyweight and then come back to heavyweight. This isn't like an Amanda Nunes where she's fighting half a division. No, this is Jon Jones with the heavyweight title that still hasn't defended it while the interim has already defended the title.
Okay.
A weight class above.
But that's...
And he fucked...
A weight class above. He is currently at heavyweight. You can't go a weight class above in heavyweight. That's a BS argument. He knows it. He's getting angry.
Fucking destroyed the guy who was the best guy in the division.
So, Seral Gane, his, before the I'm trying to be nice because unlike Dana, I'm not just going to shit on Seral Gane over here, okay? Seral Gane can barely grapple. Okay, that's just the fact. It's heavyweight. Heavyweight's not that good of a division. I argue Islam Makhachev should regardless be above Jon because lightweight right now is better than light heavyweight and heavyweight has ever been. That's just how it is. Lighter divisions are better. Fight me in the comments. That's just how it is. But Jon Jones, like...
But that's an unfortunate thing, and I think everybody here, if he...
I don't understand what he means by it's an unfortunate thing. Seral Gane can't grapple. But, oh, this is what I was going to say. Seral Gane's biggest, highlight of his entire career, outside of the Jon Jones fight, was that he made it a close fight against Francis Ngannou. And they argued as, oh, well, Seral Gane should have won. Even though when we use the same argument about Dominic Reyes, all of a sudden that argument doesn't matter. No. So Seral Gane's highest point in his entire career is that he lost to Francis Ngannou and then beat Tai Tuivasa, which is a bum. Tai Tuivasa is in the bum phase of his career. That's just how it is. Don't hate me too much. Like, come on.
He was active, if he had fought one more time, would say he's number one.
He was active. He blew his fucking shoulder out in training and then had to recover and is still coming back and fighting that fight.
So here's your...
But yet we're going to call Aljamain Sterling an inactive champion because he got fucking hit with an illegal strike and had to get his neck fused. That's bullshit.
Argument. You could say you don't know anything.
Jon Jones
you could say
is
we
active.
don't know. No, see, that's what you do. You talk over us, so we can't answer.
I apologize. You go ahead.
Got cooked again, brother. This is the equivalent of going for a takedown, getting sprawled on, and then getting reversed and getting suplexed.
So, if he fought and we don't put him number one, then you have that argument the hell you're talking about. We are all, I think everybody in this room is saying he's the greatest fighter of all time. And I think most people in this room would say he is the number one pound for pound fighter of all time. But you can't just sit on your laurels from something you did 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Dana White's hearing this. Okay, so Dana White is guilty of something that I call he hears to defend, not hears to listen. He's hearing this and is already trying to formulate a backwards knowledge way of being like, oh, well, if you did something 7 years ago, that still counts.
When was the Seral Gane fight?
Oh, okay. So actually, I'm actually really happy you brought that up. So where was Seral Gane ranked pound for pound? Where was Seral Gane ranked in the pound for pound rankings? I know off the top of my head. 18. He was ranked 18 in the pound for pound rankings. Stipe Miocic isn't even ranked. Okay? Not ranked in the pound for pound. So, the only heavyweight currently that has beaten somebody that is... No, the only other heavyweight that is in the pound for pound rankings is Tom Aspinall. So, if we're going to play this pound for pound game, then Jon Jones needs to fight Tom because Tom's the only guy in the pound for pound rankings because they were obligated to put him on there. Dana White wouldn't have put him there. Seral Gane wasn't even ranked in the pound for pound rankings. Like... You can at least say that Islam Makhachev beat people that were in the pound-for-pound rankings. Dustin Poirier was in the pound-for-pound top 15. Charles Oliveira was top 5. Volkanovski was number 1. They beat high-ranked pound-for-pound guys. Jon Jones, within the past 3 years, hasn't beaten one dude that was ranked in the pound-for-pound rankings.
Islam, he hasn't fought in 18 months.
Okay,
and it's going to be 20 months by the time he gets in the ring. So... that, assuming he gets in the ring, right? We don't know he's gonna be healthy. So all I think.
Imagine if Jon just completely just gets out of the Stipe fight and just says, "Fuck it, I'm out." I would be very curious to hear what Dana White would say after that.
Everybody is saying, and the argument against you is the fact that most people who do pound for pound lists have a 1 year cutoff.
Look at that fucking disgust on his face. Like, he cannot believe that somebody's actually challenged him on any talking point for this long, and they're not named Ariel Helwani. He is outright disgusted by this peasant that's talking to him. That is fucking hilarious, bro. Like, this is, I'm not impressed with your performance look. Like, this is outright anger.
Unless they're, they had a fight.
Holy fuck, dude! How many times does bro blink?
It's scheduled at the time, so Jon fell out of pound for pound list because it was over a year and he didn't have a fight schedule.
he did.
Okay, the dude messed up there.
Fell out of pound for pound list because it was over a year and he didn't have a fight schedule.
He did.
He doesn't have.
He did have a fight scheduled, and he got injured.
And so that. Okay.
And now he does have a fight.
This is what I will bring up. So the fight was scheduled for Stipe Miocic originally. Understand that Jon Jones versus Stipe still technically has not been scheduled and announced yet. So he has a point. It was a little weird. I would make the argument that Jon Jones was inactive for around 3 years, came back for one fight, then was inactive for now over a year. Like, that's a better point.
Fight scheduled now.
How many times did we ask you?
He does not have a fight scheduled now. You have not come out and outright said that Stipe Miocic versus Jon Jones is going to be the main event of either UFC 309 or 310. You have not come out and said it. And the fact that you haven't come out and said it tells me that the contract still is not 100%.
Dana, is he fighting? I don't know what's happening with Jon Jones. Just like you say about Conor now, right?
I did not say I don't know what's happening with Jon Jones. What I said was Jon Jones is injured and he's recovering from his injury. Fucking common sense. Everybody knows that. This guy just said he knows he's fighting in fucking November.
Okay, what we know doesn't matter. We have to wait till something is made official. Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic has not officially been made. I have checked. It has not officially been made. The UFC has not come out and said Stipe Miocic versus Jon Jones is going to be the main event of UFC 309. We've heard like, oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool if that was the case. This has not been made. I think it's going to be made. But acting like the fight has already been scheduled when it just hasn't. It's not scheduled. That's bullshit. We know more about Bilal Muhammad possibly fighting at UFC 310, the same amount as we know that Jon Jones might be fighting Stipe at 309. That's the facts.
I announced it. I said I'll announce it when the whole card is, but everybody knows it.
I know a few people went into my comment section and saying that in like a TikTok video I made. He did that for UFC 307 because the main event was going to be Pennington versus Pena, which is one of the worst main events I've ever even heard being conceived. He doesn't do this all the time. He does it some of the times, yeah, when he's worried that the card is not going to do well. We had an idea of what the main event... No, we not only had an idea. We had a confirmed main event of UFC Note before the card was built. You can announce Stipe versus Jon right now. No one's surprised. And in fact, it probably would have given people an end date for this talking point.
He's fighting. It's fucking silly. And I don't know what this game is with everybody, but Jon Jones is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Until this fucking guy...
No, he's not. You think he's the pound-for-pound best guy. You see, now this is the game that we're going to have to play now. If nuance is not a thing, if nuance is deleted, we can't say that Dominic Reyes beat Jon Jones. People thought Dominic Reyes beat Jon Jones. Then, okay, let's speak in absolutes here. Jon Jones is the pound-for-pound number 3 guy in the UFC. You cannot say he's the pound-for-pound number 1 guy, and you can't really say he's the pound-for-pound best guy ever, because show me the list that says that he's the number 1 pound-for-pound guy ever. Outside of some shit that you'll find on Tapology, you're not going to find it. The UFC's pound-for-pound rankings, if we're going to play this game where nuance doesn't exist in this world, Jon Jones is the number 3 guy. Don't say he's the pound-for-pound number 1 guy. That's a lie.
And he has been he hasn't fought, what'd you say, 18 months since the Seral Gane fight?
18 months and then 1 in 4 years.
So 18 months, he moved up and he fought Seral Gane and destroyed him in a...
Hold up. Okay, hold up. What?
4 years.
So 18 months, he moved up and he fought Seral Gane and destroyed him in a weight class above him, who was the number 1 guy in the world, and in the UFC. Then
Seral Gane was not the number 1 guy in the UFC. He wasn't even the number 1 guy in the world. He was the number 1 heavyweight. Right? You see, we can't have nuance anymore. We have to now say exactly what it was. Seral Gane was the de facto number 1 dude because Francis wasn't around. That is the truth of the conversation. He was the guy that couldn't beat Francis but was close enough. That is what happened.
And we book another fight. He's training for the fight, blows his shoulder out, which means he's still active.
No, it doesn't. That's not a thing. You called Aljamain Sterling inactive. He hurt himself in the fucking fight. You said Khamzat Chimaev has activity issues. He fights once a year. He's actually more active than Jon is.
Gets surgery, recovering, and is scheduled to fight in November.
Nothing has been made official. The fight has not officially been made as of the recording of this video. This has not been made official. We are speculating. You understand, this is what happens when everything has to be absolute. We have to play the absolute game. Stipe versus Jon Jones has not absolutely been made. That's a false statement.
He is an active fighter.
I think
False.
it's kind of like Bill Clinton's definition of is.
That is the most boomer ass reference I've ever fucking heard. That was. I already know how old this fucking guy is. He has a white beard, some glasses that are round, and he probably has 2 children. One of them doesn't talk to him.
I don't even know what that means, but
To be fair, Dana White, that was rough. That was a rough line.
That was when he was getting impeached, and then the lawyer, but forget that.
no, but he has been an active fighter. He's active. It's not like Jon Jones was not active and was not accepting fights. And I also believe, because I know how Jon Jones is, Jon Jones fights and beats Stipe. If he wins, I think he fights Aspinall.
I think he fights Aspinall, okay? You see how he's carefully worded that statement. I think he fights Aspinall. He's not going to fight Aspinall. It's not that he needs to fight Aspinall. No. I think he fights Aspinall. I think he fights Aspinall. Yeah, why not? No, I think he fights Aspinall. Like, no! Old John has to say is, I will fight Tom Aspinall after fighting Stipe. There is no other heavyweight outside... Tom Aspinall is the de facto #1 contender. He just is. He's above Stipe. That's just, like, we have to pretend that Stipe... Yeah.
So, it's all just, this is some little fucking game we're all playing that I don't understand.
The fucking audacity of this man. To insinuate that we're playing a game with him when we're trying to explain common fucking sense of you haven't fought in 18 months. Therefore, you are inactive. It is you that has to play this game of, well, that's not technically the definition. What is... If you don't fight for...
He is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, and he's the greatest of all time.
Point of this.
This is the equivalent of talking to a child, and he's like, no, that's wrong, and he's like, no, you're wrong, you're stupid. Like, that is the adult equivalent of this discussion. That is what this has devolved into. He knows he's cooked.
And you don't have to like him.
Nobody fucking likes John. Like, I'm sorry, bro. John is not a great dude. Like, when people ask me, how are you so comfortable hating on Jon Jones? Dog, this is a guy who, whenever he gets cooked on Twitter, immediately resorts to, I make more money than you, therefore my opinion means more. You probably don't even own a house. These are real quotes, by the way, that he's actually gone at people for. When this man had his own children call the cops on him for beating a woman. This man got investigated for... No, not investigated. Got convicted of a hit and run. He's not a great human. Okay? Like, I'm sorry. I know you might like him because he'll throw around a fucking Bible quote every once in a while. I'm sorry, bro. This man, even by that metric, is a bad person because he's the type of person to be like, I'm a good person because I read this. Like, no, you're worse there. No, practice what you preach. Where does it say hit a woman with a car? I don't know. I must have missed that day.
It's not like me and Jon Jones are fucking, buddy.
Well, I like Jon Jones, right?
You're the only, okay, now this guy. You're the only fucking guy that likes John. Not many people do. I think Gordon is his friend, but, from what I might make a video talking about the whole Gordon Ryan shit, because that is looking juicy, my boys.
So, I will say that I've had my share of arguments with him just like you have, but I like him. But I think the last thing is, too, who he is fighting, right? Coming up. So...
Get eye drops, my man. How much... The amount of blinking, it actually bothers me. For whatever reason, it's like a... this is like raids blinking. I don't know why it bothers me, but it does.
So everybody in this room thinks Aspinall is more highly rated than Stipe at this.
This is where you go. MMA reporters, every person that's in this space. If he's not going to listen to reason and he's going to argue all the stuff that John has done, attack Stipe. We have gotten to the point. Stipe hasn't said anything. He is now culpable in this. Attack Stipe then. Tom Aspinall deserves this fight more than Stipe. Give me an argument that that is not true.
Point. Stipe's reputation is fantastic. More highly rated than.
You can see he looks down trying to figure out an argument because he argues to debate, not argues to listen. And you can see he realizes, oh shit, I'm cooked here.
Stipe at this point. Stipe's
Fuck! That's what that face looks like. Fuck! I got nothing.
reputation is fantastic, but he has not won a fight since he beat DC in 4 years.
Remember that. Okay? Remember that. Stipe hasn't won a... No. Stipe hasn't fought since the release of the original Ghost of Tsushima. Okay? Like, think about that. That's how crazy that is. Stipe hasn't fought in a very long time, and we're arguing that he deserves it. For what reason? Let's hear it. Let's hear it, Dana. I cannot wait to hear this reason.
So that also plays into it, partially a factor, when you have a guy...
Partially a factor? That's half the fucking factor. When we make a fight, it is one dude's reason to be there and the other dude's reason to be there. That's 50% of the reason of making a fight, because he is 50% of the fight. And Stipe doesn't really have a good argument to be made for even being there.
I like Aspinall knocking Sergey Pavlovich out in a minute, Curtis Blades in less than a minute.
I want you to remember this for all the people that are going to say, oh, well, Stipe deserves it because of what he did a few years ago. The UFC refused to call Stipe Miocic to defend the title because they said, and I quote, it would be an embarrassment. No. It would be insulting to ask him to do that. It is now insulting to ask somebody that hasn't fought in 2 years and their last fight was a KO loss to ask a guy who doesn't have a win over anybody on the current roster of the UFC. It is an insult to ask that man to prove that he's not geriatric. That is insane. Sergey Pavlovich was always the backup for that fight. They called Tom Aspinall on a week's notice, and Tom Aspinall stepped up to save a card.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, I don't disagree with you. But
Okay, so I don't disagree with you, but I am going to proceed to disagree with you with the most overwhelming amount of bullshit I've ever spewed.
here's the flip side to that. So what do I...
Okay. I'm sorry I keep on pausing, but like I got to make this fair use. But at the same time, what do you think is the flip side? Okay, like think of an argument that you have for Stipe fighting for the title over Tom Aspinall. Think of a magical argument, and let's hear it from the big boss man. Okay, you got your ideas? Let's hear it.
I do. A guy who's looked at as the greatest heavyweight in the UFC, right? This fight set up. Jon Jones gets hurt. Not his fault.
So pity. We're going the pity card. Oh, well, poor Stipe was just trying to get a money fight. How dare we try to get him to fight any other heavyweight? It's not like it's his fucking job. I'm sorry, bro. What are you talking about? It's your job to fight the best guy. I think it would be not insulting. It would actually be merciful to have... Not merciful. It would be compassionate to give Stipe the ability to fight for the interim. The fact is it should have always been Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. Stipe should have never been in the running to begin with because that's just crazy to me. Tom Aspinall had a better case to be there than Stipe did. That's just facts. Sergey Pavlovich at the time was the number one guy outside of Stipe, but Sergey Pavlovich can't speak English, so they didn't think he was going to talk any shit.
You know, he has to wait and go back into fucking training camp again.
Nobody fucking told him to wait. Or no, if they told him to wait, it was more of like Michael Chandler sitting out. Like, no, he did this of his own fruition. Nobody was sticking a fucking gun to his head and telling him, it's like, you gotta wait fucking 4 years to fight somebody. Like, nobody's doing that. You're acting like he was injured for this long. And maybe he was. Maybe that Francis KO knocked out more screws than we thought. Maybe that did happen, but I would argue that he shouldn't be fighting. His last fight was a KO loss to Francis. That is what happened.
He was training, so do I just yank it away from Stipe and say...
Yes, you do. You do. This fight no longer matters. It no longer does. This is a meaningless fight now. How many people... Like, I hate to diminish this, because Stipe is the GOAT of heavyweight, but like being the GOAT of heavyweight is like being the GOAT of bantamweight. You need 3 title defenses. That is it. That is all you have to do to become the GOAT of heavyweight. That's just how it is. 3 title defenses. Tom Aspinall is 2 title defenses away from being considered the GOAT of heavyweight, but the dumb part is they're going to force Tom Aspinall to get 3 more title defenses because they aren't going to count the interim one because they're going to be like, oh, well, you didn't fight the greatest guy. Motherfucker, you didn't let him fight the greatest guy. That's such a snake argument in my eyes.
Say, hey, go fuck yourself and sit on the sidelines for 2 more years, or...
You did that to Dricus! You literally tried to do that to Dricus, dude. Dricus beat Robert Whittaker, and he broke his hand, and he didn't want to fight on a month's notice, and you told him to go fuck off and fight 3 more people, and then maybe we would give you a title shot. It wasn't until the fan uprising and the questioning of Adesanya getting an immediate title shot, which he did getting, by the way, so they end up just doing Dricus versus Strickland. You were going to do the same exact thing. You were. Let's not pretend the UFC just doesn't say, fuck you, we're not doing it. No. Y'all do. Y'all actually do that. Like, I enjoy when you do it to some fighters, but you gotta do it to Stipe because Stipe has no real argument in being there.
Or you know what I mean? If I did that, you guys would be like, oh, you fucking disrespected the greatest ever.
No, but there would be like 3 people, and those people would be Stipe, his wife, and the one fucking guy that's in his fan club. Nobody else would give a shit. We'd be like, yes, that's what you get, Stipe. You haven't fought anybody in 2 years. You haven't beat anybody in 4 years. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be fighting. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be fighting for the title. Fight Tom Aspinall.
Heavyweight ever, and you know what I mean? So would the fucking fans. So I should just shit on Stipe because Jon got hurt and not make the fight that he was already supposed to fight.
Things change. The so goes on. Is that not what you say all the time when things happen?
We'll end it here, but I'll talk to you later.
What?
Okay, then the answer to that would be you should have had Stipe fight Aspinall or somebody else.
This guy, okay, this guy makes great points, but he needs to lead with that. Why didn't you have Stipe fight Tom Aspinall? Why didn't you have Stipe fight Sergey Pavlovich when in any other scenario that's what you would have done? Why didn't you do that, Dana?
Else, right? In the interim, because how do you qualify for a title shot when you have not fought since, 2021, and you lost that fight? How do you qualify for a title shot sitting out for over 3?
You can see Dana White's jaw clenching because he's actively trying to hold back rage and tears because there is no argument that you can make.
Years and just sitting on the sidelines waiting when you're trying to say who is the best fighter in the world. Should you not be active and be competing and be beating? You said yourself, and Hunter has said that
the nod of, I'm getting fucking cooked. I have nothing to say to the... Like, you guys, what would be your answer to this? Because I really be like, yeah, no, money, though. Like, there really isn't much you can say. You're cooked. There's nothing else.
The UFC heavyweight division is the best it's ever been, right? So should he not be challenging himself?
That's also really fucking sad. If this is the best the heavyweight division's ever been, heavyweight is like the women's division of the men's division. This is a really bad time. But it probably is, because we had Brock Lesnar, Junior Dos Santos, and Cain Velasquez. Like, if this is the best we've ever been, then heavyweight's ass.
Against those fighters. So when Jon got hurt, instead of saying...
I'm gonna wet my lips because I need to get ready. I need to get ready for Jon really quick.
Stipe versus Pavlovich.
Dog, get some fucking eye drops, man. This blinking's bothering me, man.
Aspinall versus Pavlovich. Why not Stipe versus Pavlovich or Stipe versus Aspinall at that point? That would be the argument.
To look up to the sky because I'm about to spout some fictional bullshit.
So I have two legends in the sport.
Okay, immediately reframe the entire discussion of it's a legacy fight. Rules don't apply to a legacy fight. And let's hear it.
That wanted to fight each other. These guys are lined up. One guy gets hurt, and this is the fight that they both want. What do you do?
You tell Stipe to kick rocks. You should have fought somebody. You should have pushed harder to fight for the interim. That way, we would have been able to see if you were okay. The Jon Jones fans will be like, well, Jon Jones is going to beat Tom Aspinall regardless. Do you think Stipe is going to beat Tom Aspinall? Honestly, tell me, do you think that's true? No. Tom Aspinall is going to destroy Stipe. I think prime Stipe would have had a very hard time with somebody like Tom Aspinall because Stipe has the arms of a fucking T-Rex.
You don't show the guys the respect.
What are you talking about, bro? Respect goes out the fucking window the moment you don't like the guy. Like, come on. Really? Like, you were bitching at GSP for not fighting Robert Whittaker when he openly told you multiple times that he's just going to fight Michael Bisping. Where was the respect then? Arguably the second or the first greatest MMA fighter of all time. There was no respect there. There was none. What are you talking about? Where was the respect to Drickus when he was the #1 guy? And then you told him, no, kick rocks, fight 3 more people because you didn't want to fight on short notice. Where was the respect there?
And I guarantee you this.
Where was the respect to Aljamain Sterling when he needed a neck surgery and then you made a fight behind his max for Sean O'Malley and you actively tricked him into getting into that fight when Sean O'Malley knew an entire year in advance when Aljamain only knew about it 3 months in advance and you told him the date that he was going to fight in Boston after the Cejudo fight?
If Stipe wins, Stipe's going to retire.
Oh, okay. So if Stipe can't fight Tom Aspinall because he said he only wants to do 1 more fight. And we want to give him a fight that he's going to make a lot of money in. Well, what are we talking... Like... Dude. So, the reasoning for Stipe not fighting Tom Aspinall is Stipe said, pretty please, let me get the money fight. I promise I'll lose very quickly. And don't make me fight Tom Aspinall or Seral Gane because I'll get knocked into another dimension again.
You know what I mean? This will be Stipe's last.
No, I don't know what you mean. So, Stipe, don't fight for the title. Okay, so if Dominic Cruz came out tomorrow, the dude that people call the Bantamweight GOAT, if he came out tomorrow and was like, hey, can I please fight for the title against Sean O'Malley, please? You would say, Dominic Cruz has a more recent win than Stipe does. This is insane.
Last fight. So are you the media telling me I should just tell Stipe to fuck off?
Yes. No, they aren't going to say it. I'll say it, yes. I want you to go up to Stipe Miocic in front of, go open Stipe's door, okay? In front of his wife and be like, so the fought, bud, we're going with Tom Aspinall. Like, what happened to, it's not personal, it's just business. Whatever happened to that? This all of a sudden, we're going to be chummy with Stipe when we actively were talking shit, when we were making jokes after he got KO'd by Francis. Like, this is, what are we talking about?
Nah, good luck to you, Stipe. Right off into sunset. Go fight some fires, and that's a wrap for you, buddy, because Jon got hurt. Or do I...
No, in any other situation, you would have had Stipe fight for the interim. He should have fought for the interim. There was no reason that Sergey Pavlovich should have been able to fight Tom Aspinall for the interim title. You should have never put the interim up for grabs if you knew this was going to happen. And Stipe should have fought Sergey Pavlovich. That is what should have happened. In any other scenario, that's what would have happened. But nope. This is the situation that you created, Dana.
I show this guy the respect that I should show him and give them both the fight that they want,
What happened to not picking your fights?
That's the position I'm in. We had this thing lined up, and again, like you said, if Stipe was 32 years old, then yeah, then that's probably what we do.
I didn't watch this part of the interview. There's no fucking way that he just said, well, if he was younger, we would have had him do, what we would have had any other fucking fighter in the history of MMA do. But because he's old, we're going to give him a treatment, and we're going to throw out the whole idea that the best guys fight the best guys because he's old. Yeah, that is what we effectively just did right there.
But this is probably Stipe's last fight.
Nobody gives a fuck, bro. Like, I say that, but if it's your last fight, then... Oh, dude, you're the one that created this problem. Then you should have had Stipe fight for the interim. You should have had him prove in the meantime that he was the #1 guy. Instead, you had him sit out for 2 years. And I know why they're making this fight. I know why the real reason. Because Stipe has a win over Francis. And they want Jon Jones to run through Stipe so they can say, well, Jon Jones is better than Francis Ngannou. Fuck him. That is what they're going to do. That is why the Stipe fight is being made. And they also don't want to risk Jon losing. That's also what is part of it.
Win or lose. And I'm not going to disrespect the guy. He accepted the fight. He was ready for the fight, and Jon got injured.
We're going to remember this for literally any other scenario. Okay? We'll let him
You don't
finish.
think that I wouldn't love to just say, hey, let's do fucking Stipe and one of the top 3 heavyweights, and then we do Jon Jones versus, it would be great, but we already agreed to this with these guys.
Yeah, it would be great because that's how you would run any other division ever, but no, for whatever reason, we're going to pretend, we're going to give it to Stipe because he's borderline geriatric. This is a make-a-wish fight for Stipe. That is what this is. This is not a legacy fight. This is a make-a-wish fight. That is what I'm calling this to the end of days, because that is what this fight is in my eyes. And, you know what? I'm just going to end this with a grand prediction. Jon Jones will not fight Stipe. No. Jon Jones will fight Stipe. That'll be his final fight. And then Jon Jones will be around, and then he'll be like, I will fight Tom Aspinall if the UFC shows me the money and gives me $25 million. Fuck them. Oh, you're not going to pay me $25 million? Hey, but I almost sold 1 million pay-per-views that one time. What do you mean I'm not a pay-per-view star? He never sold over 1 million. That never happened. And when they don't do $25 million, Jon Jones is going to talk some shit how the UFC doesn't appreciate him, and Dana White's going to look like an idiot. That's part of the reason I'm kind of excited to see how this plays out. Jon Jones is not fighting Tom Aspinall. That will not happen. I guarantee you, Jon Jones will not fight Tom Aspinall. He has openly said multiple times, like 25 million is the number, and they're not gonna do it. That's not how this is gonna play. Jon Jones, this is a retirement fight for Stipe because it was always a retirement fight. Man, this is some malarkey. But hey, I hope you enjoy the content. Please consider a like, comment, subscribe. It means the absolute most, and I will see you all next time. Adios.